morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my whole peoples. Grenada, Carriacou, PT, Martinique, whichever part of the world you are tuning in this morning, a special, spicy, good Christmassy morning to each and every one of you. It is Monday, December 14th, 2020. Happy to have you. Hope everybody had a good weekend, an enjoyable weekend. An interesting weekend, I know, for most of us. Good morning, everybody. Those of you joining us on the GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20. Good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7. To the folks joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, a Grenadian good morning to you. And those of you tuned in internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Good morning, Brother Elroy. Every time I say that, I remember you. Good morning to you. Morning, Sister Cherry. All right, let's start. It's time for this morning's Word of the Day. This morning's Word of the Day, we're not sticking today. Need to get to some information. This morning's Word of the Day is float. Float. F-L-O-U-T, float. It's a verb which means to treat with contemptuous disregard, to indulge in scornful behavior. It is not I, it is Webster.com that gave me the word of the day for the day. I think it fits in it. Let's go. If you flout a rule or societal norm, you ignore it without hiding what you're doing or showing fear or shame. The similar sounding word flaunt is sometimes used in the same way, though that word's older and more common meaning is to display ostentatiously. Critics have been complaining about the confusion of these two words since the early 1900s, but use of flaunt with a meaning to treat with contemptuous disregard is found in even polished edited writing, and so that meaning is concluded in our and other dictionaries as an established use of the word. Nonetheless, you may want to avoid it. There are still many who judge harshly those who fail to keep these two words distinct, flaunt and float. This morning's word of the day is float, F-L-O-U-T, a verb which means to treat with contemptuous disregard, to indulge in scornful behavior. Examples of the use of the word: research shows that people who intentionally flout convention and stand out are perceived as more competent. Another example of the use of the word: they will be quick to hand out fines if they find establishments flouting the rules. Fitting word and fitting example of the word of the day, float, F-L-O-U-T, a verb which means to treat with contemptuous disregard, to indulge in scornful behavior. And this morning's thought of the day: the week starts on a Monday, so suck it up and have a great day. It is your chance to seize the week. Whether you like it or not, the week starts on Monday, so suck it up and have a great day. It is your chance to seize the week. No matter how much we fume and fuss and chups and roll and don't want to get out of bed, it's going to be a Monday. So just embrace it, get up, do what you have to do to the best of your ability. Make it a memorable day. Have yourself a great day, because like it or not, Monday is here. So as you go about your day, as you start your work week in these COVIDious times, the thought of the day: like it or not, the week starts on Monday, so suck it up and have a great day. It is your chance to seize the week. All right, we're going to skip all the what's celebrated today. Nothing that would really, have any great meaning for some of us, specifically in Grenada. So let's get straight into info. By now, most, if not everyone, should know that we are experiencing a spike in COVID-19 cases. Over the weekend, it was announced that Grenada recorded 26 new cases coming from a cluster from a resort in the south of the island. A subsequent release from the ministry acknowledged that there are currently 30 active cases of COVID-19 in Grenada. This is the most that we have had in one time, and it is a reminder that we need to continue to observe the protocols. We'll get into floating a little later. But for now, everybody take responsibility. Not just for now, I should say. Continue to take responsibility for your own self. Protect yourselves. Those of you who have young ones who may not be so apt at protecting themselves, protect them too. We need to continue to observe the protocols, and this should serve as a reminder to not get complacent. Currently, the world has, I believe it is 72 million, if my memory serves me correctly, 72 million COVID-19 cases worldwide. The most is in the U.S. with 16 million. Grenada, nevertheless, we're still, I believe the calculations we currently have is between 69 and 71. The world calculator have us at 69, but from the information coming out of yesterday's news conference, most of us add up the numbers together and we came up with 71. I would need to verify, but either way, let's go in the middle and say 70. That's 70 too much. Brothers and sisters around the place, people we get into it, people we travel on public buses with may have it. Listen to me. All the thought was joke at making when I say wear your masks and use your hand sanitizers, wash your hands. If y'all don't do it by now, then I don't know when y'all would do it again. Information from the Happy Hill Secondary School yesterday advised that all vacation classes for Form 5 students will be held online. There will be no on-site classes. That's for Happy Hill Secondary Form 5 students who were to engage in vacation classes during this period. The teachers will provide the necessary information. So parents, students of Happy Hill Sec, please take note. Vacation classes will now be online. The Bus Association issued a news release yesterday, a reminder that we need to observe the protocols, bus conductors and drivers, the sanitization, and ensuring your passengers wear their masks. Passengers on public transportation, do what you need to protect yourselves. The information coming out yesterday of those 26 people, which include guests of the resort and employees and their families, some of them use public transportation. We don't know which buses they were traveling on, but we sitting down on buses and we pulling on we masks and we not hand sanitizing, and some bus drivers not sanitizing. If this does not wake up, lost at starting to rant, but I'm passionate about it this morning. If this is not a reminder that we need to continue to observe the protocols, nevertheless, forget who's not paying attention. We'll get into that later. But take responsibility for yourselves, your family, your loved ones. Observe the protocols, your masks, hand sanitizers, wash your hands when you get home. Get it together. 30 active cases, especially around Christmas. Wake up. Get it together and wake up. Let's get into the news before I continue. Thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Grenada. We're going to get more into the current COVID-19 situation on Mouth Off Monday in just about half an hour. So stick and stay. We're going to do the news in the meantime for those of you on radio, the morning edition of news, and those of you on television or visual platforms, we're going to bring you the week in review. This is Good Morning Grenada in COVIDious times. We will be right back.
With internet interruptions island-wide on Monday, not everyone got to witness the delivery of the opposition leader, Tobias Clement. For the sake of history, one should take a moment to see for themselves the sitting of the House of Representatives to get a better understanding of what chain lock and no key signifies. Sherry and Blackman Stephen tells us this story.
Mr. Speaker, I know you were prepared today, but I am also prepared. This might be the most famous piece of chain in Grenada today. And to put me out of this house, Mr. Speaker, let the whole world see that even in chains, I will deliver what I have to deliver today. And I don't have the keys, Mr. Speaker. You will have to send for the keys. So if you have to get me out of here today, I don't know. I do not even know if the orderlies can take me out today.
Opposition leader Tobias Clement put GBN on notice that he will be coming in full force in the budget debate on Monday. But the chain and lock he pulled was beyond one's imagination.
Speaker, it is not easy to stand here. And Mr. Speaker, if I have to stand here in chains today, I will stand here in chains and deliver what I have to deliver to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, in order to get me out, before my time is up, you would have to nuke this place.
The opposition leader took the floor to deliver his response mid-morning, and he did not mince words as he said he is no lover of drama, but not afraid to finish a war.
Mr. Speaker, I am going to do something here today. And to be clear, I don't like drama here. But, I mean, when the drama comes, I don't start war, Mr. Speaker. We never stop war. But when war comes, we'll finish it. And I will finish what I started today, Mr. Speaker. When I leave this house, one thing I know, and we all will have to leave it up, but I will leave with my self-respect.
Clement, reminding all that the world watches, dipped for his chain and padlock, which he noted he had no keys for. But the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Michael Pear, was just as prepared for what he considered Mr. Clement's drama.
This Parliament is not a slave pen. The Parliament is a place of freedom. And you stand to speak, you stand to debate the budget, and I think the world, as you said, is watching. But the world don't want to see a comedian or something like that in the Parliament of this country. The Parliament is bigger than that. So if you wish to chain yourself to the Parliament table so that the world can see what the leader of the opposition demeanor is, proceed.
The punchline came at the end of Mr. Clement's presentation, while he was still chained to the table.
Did you ever walk with the key for the chain?
No, I did not. No, Mr. Speaker, I did not.
Oh boy.
The opposition leader was allowed to make his full presentation of 2 hours. For GBN News, Janelle MacDonald.
The government of Grenada is being accused of trying to turn Grenada into a sweatshop country, such as Bangladesh and other nations which are exploited for cheap labor. Its 2021 fiscal package has in fact been labeled as a sweatshop budget. The comment has come from Ms. Kimberly Phillip, who is a Grenadian gender and human rights advocate whose work is based in Canada. She has led several initiatives to engender change for the working class citizens. Last week, she was a guest on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program. More in this report.
The 2021 budget is still a topic of discussion for Grenadian nationals both locally and in the diaspora. Monday night on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program, the budget was analysed from a youth and social impact perspective. When asked about the budget's identification of women as a marginalised group in Grenada, human rights activist Kimberly Phillips said that although the terms were mentioned, there was no clear investment to address social inequality. Instead, she said the finance minister presented a sweatshop budget.
I read the budget and I felt like the government was setting Grenada up to essentially be a sweatshop, a factory where foreign investors can come in and get cheap labor. A lot of the jobs that were mentioned as part of the job creation process were temporary jobs, so precarious jobs. And so to me, it's really setting Grenada up to be a playground and a site for cheap investments, cheap labor for foreign investment. So I was quite disappointed, and I did not see the budget as an indication of the government's commitment to addressing any kind of social inequality.
She was unwavering in her claim that the government's budget favors the needs of foreign investors over that of locals, and gave further explanation for her statement.
When I look at the budget, it's not clear that the government has a plan, a long-term plan, to ensure that Grenadians have full-time jobs, jobs that are secure, that jobs that have benefits, a pension. Like, you're talking about temporary jobs, which is great for the short term, but what does it mean for the long-term well-being of the country?
She says this issue is furthered by the government's failure to tax foreign investors sufficiently.
And I think one of the issues is that the government keeps responding to private sector needs and desires. They're not responding to the needs of the people. They're responding to, okay, this like a good business opportunity. We have some interested investors. How do we respond to that? How do we make sure they have the labor that they need? How do we make Grenada an attractive place for corporations? And what that means to make Grenada an attractive place for corporations means less taxes. You tax those corporations less. So Grenada essentially becomes this tax haven for multinational corporations and foreign investors.
According to the State of Tax Justice 2020 report, Grenada loses over $3 million in taxes due to offshore tax evasion, enough to pay the annual salaries of 273 nurses.
Whichever government holds the reins of power need to get more people involved in the governance process. That's the train of thought of development consultant Marcus Damian Williams, who encourages the government to practice participatory governance. He says if this approach is adopted, government will have a greater knowledge of the needs of the electorate and therefore put itself in a position to present a budget that represents those priorities.
With everybody else, this is a time to restructure our economy. The COVID-19 pandemic has taught us that tourism is volatile, yet tourism has received a bigger portion of the budget than agriculture. We have to look at where the world is going in terms of virtual reality and see how we can merge ICT and agriculture to be able to feed our nation.
Williams was speaking on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program last week, which further dissected the 2021 budget. He believes the government's projections are out of touch with the needs of the people.
We are a small island development state, and we have rested so much on foreign direct investment and on tourism. And I think it's so out of touch. We have not created the kind of ecosystem for growth, especially for participation by young people. And I go further to say, in order to restructure economically, we have to think about socially re-engineering. And I don't see any room for that in the budget that we have.
The squabbling caused by police promotions. If he has his way, fire trucks will be stationed at all parishes and at least 3 police stations will be relocated. GBN's Sherry Blackman Stevens has been listening as the Prime Minister outlined plans for the island's national security apparatus.
Government's budget allocation for the RGPF for the next year is $51.6 million. Her Majesty's Prisons is earmarked to receive $9.6 million. High on the agenda for those agencies is the creation of independent management systems. National Security Minister, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, announced in Parliament a lot of emphasis will be placed on police force, customs and excise, and immigration departments.
There's nothing that says that firefighting has to be an arm of the police force. In many countries, firefighting is an independent unit. They have connection with the police force, but not necessarily on. Similarly, immigration. There's nothing that says, I believe we have one of the best immigration departments in the Caribbean. I honestly believe so. With the leadership there and the members and that team, I really believe that. But for me, there is no reason why an immigration officer has to be a police officer.
The Prime Minister's plans extend to the Inland Revenue Department.
And similarly, you look at the customs and inland revenue, why can't we have a revenue generating authority? And instead of having customs by itself and inland revenue by itself, one revenue generating authority would want leadership and clearly lines of authority, as the actions are sometimes different.
And the constant battle surrounding promotions within the force will also be addressed. Whenever promotions are announced, there are claims about a lack of transparency and accusation that favoritism is shown to persons with political leanings. The National Security Minister says legislative guidelines are being drafted to avoid the squabbling and legal challenges which have dogged the promotions program over the years.
That regulation would be in place, and it would mean not just members of the force assessing themselves, but there would be outside persons joining with members of the force in the question of promotion, Mr. Speaker. 3 police stations will be relocated as part of the overall improvement initiative. The state police station in St. George's, many of those, the one in Grand War, Mr. Speaker,
Over the years, we have spent enormous amount of money. The one in St. Andrews, we have spent millions of dollars. It appears now that we have to move that police station.
Firefighting also came up for discussion, and he highlighted the fact that there is no equipment in St. David, which is now the only parish without fire trucks. 2 units have been shipped to Grenada, one of which is to be sent to the sister isle of Petite Martinique. For GBN News, Janelle MacDonald.
Former Government Minister Roland Bowler will return to Parliament to take up senatorial duties as a replacement for the resigned Senator Kim George. He's expected to take the oath of office on December 15 when the Senate begins debate on the 2021 budget presentation. Bowler spoke to GBN exclusively via telephone Tuesday night about the reason for his decision.
Roland Bowler has confirmed to GBN that he accepted his party's request to replace former Senator Kim George in the upper house, who resigned in October, citing demands of her profession and Senate preparation. In an exclusive interview with GBN, Bowler said he was asked to step in to fill the vacant position and answered.
I was approached and asked if I would be willing to fill that position. Until such time, I don't know for how long, I don't know, if someone else may be coming, if I'd be asked to remain there until and whenever an election is called. But I readily accepted it because I want to do what's right for my country, first and foremost, and for my parties that I support, once it's legal and above board.
Bowler received his instrument of appointment last week Wednesday, the same day that Finance Minister Gregory Bowen presented the 2021 budget of revenue and expenditure. He is expected to take the oath of office when the Senate meets to debate the 2021 budget on December 15th. When asked if he will be willing to become a candidate if asked by the party, he said it will have to be an emergency situation for that to happen.
It's still very early to say. It has to be a situation. Let me answer by telling you, I do not have very much interest in wanting to contest as a candidate in an election anymore. What I can tell you is that if it reached to a do-or-die situation, I want to put it that way, where in any particular constituency, the party is unable to field a candidate, and I am approached to say, look, this is our present situation. We need some assistance from you. I will give it serious consideration. Other than that, no, I am not totally interested, but I'm not ruling it out to say it will never happen. There may be a situation that occur where desperation for someone may be the case, and of course, with the concurrence of my family, I'm going to give it serious consideration.
Senator Bowler formerly sat as Minister for Agriculture and Sports. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear.
If it's one thing that the Prime Minister and opposition leader agree on, is in relation to the operations of the Marketing and National Importing Board. The Prime Minister believes that MNIB has lost its way, while the opposition leader wants a full investigation in the affairs of the business.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell dealt a stinging rebuke on the state-owned Marketing and National Importing Board, the MNIB. In his presentation to the 2021 Budget of Revenue and Expenditure on Monday, Dr. Mitchell said the MNIB, which was established to provide market access for farmers, is now competing with those same farmers.
I think this MNIB has lost its way. The founding fathers of the MIB never intended for MNIB to be competing with private sector institutions for anything. It was meant to be a marketing board. It is no longer a marketing board. Marketing what? The people you're marketing for right now, the farmers, afraid of you. What? Doesn't make any sense.
The Prime Minister said the future of the entity needs to be analyzed.
We have to seriously look at where we go in the marketing board. We can't fool ourselves. We're spinning top and mud. We just have to find millions of dollars to bail out Marketing Board on another situation. Farmers are hardly taking their produce there unless they have no alternative. So clearly, if we are serious, that's only one true statement, leader of the opposition, I want to compliment him for that, but that's true. So we have to find a way.
Opposition leader Tobias Clement, in his response to the budget on Monday, called on Agriculture Minister Peter David to look delicately into the affairs of the MNIB. He told the nation he has issues with the MNIB and that farmers, employees, and the nation are complaining about the business. Clement spoke about one of the ventures the MNIB embarked on.
The CEO, they hired him as a manager, but he made himself CEO. Launched that project in Bonaccord Estate to lease Bonaccord Estate from the proprietor. Marketing Board spent $2.5 million on Bonaccord Estate, Mr. Speaker. They planted 575 soursop trees, 600 breadfruit trees, 2,000 plantain trees, and pineapple.
Unfortunately, the yield of the MNIB investment was too significant for them to benefit.
The proprietor moved to take back his estate from Marketing Board. Why? Marketing Board did not pay the lease. And Mr. Speaker, you want to hear the kicker? This is the kicker. When the soursop declared, they went to him and said, can you sell us the soursop? You know what he said to them? You can't pay us for my soursop. Marketing Board can pay me for my soursop.
Regarding the ongoing investigation into questionable transactions at the MNIB, Prime Minister Mitchell says he supports the investigation despite his opinion that the wheels of justice sometimes spin too slow. Cherry and Blackman-Stephen, GBN News.
Firefighters responded to a mid-morning fire on Lower Lucas Street, St. George. This had the employees of businesses in close proximity scampering out in shock. The fire occurred in an abandoned building adjacent to the police traffic box and between Praise the Lord Tabernacle and KLS Sports Bar. Christelina John was there and has this report.
Scores of onlookers crowded the streets as fire engulfed what is believed to be an unoccupied building on Lower Lucas Street, St. George, around after 10 Thursday morning. The building is believed to be one of the oldest in the city. People who grew up in the area in the 1940s said reports from their parents suggest that it predated them by more than 40 years. GBN was told that the structure was purchased by the Catholic nuns and plans are ongoing to have it converted into a laboratory for the neighboring St. Joseph's Convent. Sister Lucy Gabriel of the Roman Catholic Chantry were among persons who gathered on the street as anxiety mounted that the fire could spread to other buildings.
Well, that building was bought with the intention of doing some sort of work for the school. Okay, some labs I think we were supposed to be putting up there. But in the meantime, it was unoccupied. Okay, so I'm not sure what would have happened today. Just like other people, we just saw the smoke, and I was wondering what building it was. And then when I came to look, it was the building belonging to us.
There was no electricity in the building and speculations in rife about the possible source of the fire. Several abandoned buildings and others which are not in use by the owners are sometimes occupied by homeless people. When fires like these occur, fingers start pointing in the direction of displaced persons. Superintendent of Police Vanny Cohen says they are aware of the challenge, and while they are not casting aspersions, various agencies will need to work together to alleviate this problem.
It's indeed a concern for law enforcement, and I can speak on behalf of the Commissioner. I know he has written to some of the business owners in and around town regarding those buildings that are uninhabited, which are ensuring that there is some sort of security and preventative measures away from vagrants and homeless people from accessing these businesses. It is a concern for us, and we continue to monitor it and do what we can do to ensure that it doesn't pose or continue to pose that kind of threat to fire in the town.
Superintendent Cohen commended firefighters for their rapid rapid response.
The fire services did exceptionally well to contain the fire and de-escalated it. We were able to save the 2 adjacent buildings. The building was basically left to burn out, so the roof caved in, and that was one of the ways that we thought it was best to contain it. We do not know yet the cause of the fire. We still do our assessment. There's not much we can say until we've done a full and complete investigation. At some point, we'll be able to report on what might have caused the fire and what are the circumstances. For now, it's preliminary, and that is as much as I can say at this point.
GBN understands that students from the St. Joseph's Convent and the St. Louis R.C. Girls School who suffered from respiratory illnesses were sent home as a precautionary measure. The cause of the fire is under police investigation. Christina John, GBN News.
Students and parents in Grenada and other Caribbean countries are not happy with what they see as the non-responsive mode of the Caribbean Examinations Council. They have been wrangling with the regional testing agency over what they see as a faulty grading system, which was applied in 2020. The coalition of parents and students has been formed, and they voiced their concerns during a regional Zoom conference this morning. GBN's Rina Pear was online and followed the proceedings.
After weeks of individual actions in their respective countries, the Caribbean Coalition for CXC 2020 Redress is insisting that the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, must clean house before moving forward. Thousands of secondary school students are of the view that they have been significantly disadvantaged by their preliminary grades. They claim that the CXC testing system, which was applied this year, does not reflect the students' historical performance or the teachers' predicted grades. Coordinator of the Parent Advocate Group, Paula Ann Moore, said they will not stop until CXC gives the students what they worked for.
The students saying what they've said these 12 weeks, fix them grades. We are not going to rest. None of this coalition is going to rest until these grades are resolved. And this is within the context of best practice internationally, where public examining bodies, their core mandate, philosophy, and overarching belief and value, mission statement, mandate is that any education authority has to have the well-being of the children at their forefront of how they deliver their product.
A Barbadian student is among those who feel that he was disenfranchised.
We have students who have matriculated into university. Some have been removed from universities where they would have been accepted conditionally based on the strength of their Unit 1 results. So some of those students have been removed. Others who had the fortune of receiving an academic merit-based scholarship, which would have allowed them and helped them to defray some of the costs associated with higher education, have had those scholarships removed, have been allowed to stay, but have had those scholarships taken away from them. We can see the real tangible effect that, that this present crisis is having on the ability and the access of our present crop of students.
Grenada was not among the countries involved in the coalition group, which hosted Thursday's Zoom conference. Education Minister Emmeline Pear claimed that local students were satisfied with what CXC presented. However, students of the T.A. Marisho Community College who thought otherwise engaged in protest action. They staged a demonstration at the Tantine campus and proceeded to the Ministry of Education headquarters at the Botanical Gardens. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This Christmas, we need the good vibes more than ever. At LA Purcell, shop all new selections at our home goods, appliance, and hardware stores. Brighten things up at our color center with paint to put the finishing touches on the industry's best building supplies. Last but not least, our annual yard sale is on again for 2 weeks at the LA Purcell car park in town and 3 weeks at our Riverwood store, both starting December 5th. Come and name your price. And remember, Purcell's motto is cash if you have it or credit if you want it.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
It's a strawberry affair. December specials at Escape to Haven Health Spa by Nirvana. Indulge and excite your senses with our strawberry full body massage, $125. Kids, $80. Strawberry pedicures, $70. Kids, $50. Strawberry facials, $100. Kids, $50. Strawberry full body scrub, $90. Come on, be honest. You know it's long overdue for some real body care. Call or message us on 231-6642-418-7115 or 449-7753. Opening hours are Mondays to Saturdays 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Give your family or friend a gift of body care by purchasing a gift certificate. Celebrate your birthday or anniversary with us and receive a complimentary glass of strawberry champagne. Escape to Haven Health Spa by Nirvana. Excel Plaza Grandance. We know real body care. This offer ends January 3rd.
Food is fundamental, and at Caribbean Agro Industries Limited, we source premium quality wheat and other ingredients, so you get the best results in the kitchen, bakeries and farms. For over 35 years, we've supplied Grenada with the finest flour and animal feed. The tastiest cakes, pastries or breads are baked with the region's finest flour. Buy the products you've trusted for all these years. Baker's Pride, Supreme and Sunshine Flour. Get the best from your farm animals with our master mixed feed brands. Support local. Buy products that are made in Grenada. Call us on 440-2954 or visit us at Mount Gay St. George or check our Facebook page. Caribbean Agro Industries Limited, a subsidiary of ADM. Unlocking nature, enriching life.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Changes in sleep pattern, changes in appetite, lack of energy, no interest in work or hobbies, difficulty concentrating, constant sadness, thoughts of death and suicide. These are signs of depression. But there is help. Call 440-2269 and save a life today.
holiday season. Let Juve bring you 100% joy with its magical chocolate products. Happy holidays from the management and staff of Juve Chocolate. Juve Chocolate, raise your bar.
Get your home ready for Christmas with Island Style Talent Band. From now until Christmas, get amazing discounts of 15 to 50% off on porcelain and ceramic tiles. Save a whopping 50% off when you purchase all of a low stock model. Plus, get chip edge tiles starting at just $1. That's right. Ho, 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 just $1. More incredible in-store specials available to give you a head start on your home or commercial projects. Make your home more inviting this holiday season with our Ready for Christmas sale. Visit us on Monroe's Road, Grandad's, or call 439 Tile today.
Do you want to win loads of prizes this Christmas with BIP? Join our Spin to Win promotion to win exciting prizes daily. Here's how. Go to the Discover section of the BIP app. Search for the Spin to Win channel and click follow. Once you have followed the channel, click the Spin Now button, choose your device type, select your country, and wait for the wheel to start spinning. Be quick. When your wheel lands on the correct prize of the day, screenshot the prize and send your screenshot to the Spin to Win chat to enter the promotion. Click the Daily Updates button to get updates on the prize you are required to spin for each day, and also to know if you are the lucky winner of the day.
A Merry Christmas, spin and win with Bib.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. Thank you so much for joining us. It is 20 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Getting right into it. It is Mouth Off Monday, and you guessed it correctly. This morning we're mouthing off on Grenada's current COVID-19 spike. That's what we're going to respectful. I know most of us are angry, some of us are annoyed. However you feel, we're going to be clean with what we're going to say and what we're going to type this morning, right? 435-2041, that's the landline number. That's also the WhatsApp. Please, only written messages on WhatsApp. You can also send in your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. How should the government handle the spike in COVID-19 cases? We're going to respectfully mouthing off on a Monday. That's what we're going to respectfully mouth off on. How should the government handle the spike in COVID-19 cases? Landline 435-2041. WhatsApp 435-2041. The GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Let's go right to the landline. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. How are you?
Morning, I'm good. How you do?
Not so bad.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
Trying to take the virus, take time with the virus. Blossom, something I want to talk about the virus this morning. Personally speaking, I think the health minister needs to move away from health. I don't think he's doing a good work. Blossom, how come that Sanders, people come to Sanders just taking a bus, Sanders sending a bus for them and going straight to Sanders. and other people coming in, they have to take a test in America. For instance, my wife, Miss, came in on the 10th from New York. She went for 2 weeks for an exam down there. And she came in, and she had to go straight in quarantine. She's still in quarantine. And then people from Sanders is coming in, and they're just going straight into Sanders. How could it happen? They are the one who is spreading the virus. I don't know what to say about it because I'm dead scared about it myself. Take care, my darling. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. From what I've known and what I've gathered, all-inclusive hotels / resorts that fall under the Pure Safe Travel campaign program, however you want to put it, or the all-inclusive hotels that fall under that category, guests are not required to do the PCR test. And it's not just Sandals, other all-inclusive hotels who fall under it. You can, but it's not a requirement. From what I understand, the guests come into the island, they're picked up at MBIA by transportation provided by the resort, taken straight to the property. The agreement is once you do not leave the property, you are not required to do the PCR test. The only time you leave the property is to go back to MBIA and back to where you come from. So in my view, if you've agreed that I'm not doing the PCR test, it's not a requirement, I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to risk it and mingle and mix up and blend with the other guests who are not required to do the PCR test. I don't know where they come from, if they have it, if they don't have it, but it's something I have agreed to. Then free up yourself. Go on, rain, mix up and blend, do thing, my brother, live life on the edge, bless up yourself. But here's the problem I'm having. Those same guests who are not required to do the PCR tests are tended to by Grenadians who leave the property and go home to their families on a daily basis and are not tested on a daily basis. That's the thing that made me go, eh? So, and nobody saw that gap. Loss are starting to rant again. Nobody saw that gap. Your guests mingling with each other. They're not mingling with me because I'm outside the property. That's their business. But they're mingling with our brothers and sisters and cousins and nephews and nieces and mothers and fathers who coming home to me. And they weren't tested before they left. And I don't know when they'll be tested. That's the problem. So if you're going to have that part, and this rule has been in place for a little while now, that if you're staying on the property where the tests are not required, the all-inclusive resorts, that rule has been in place for a little while now. But what about the rest of us? That's the thing that made me go, eh. Lord, there we go. Let me go to the social media before I lose more work in these COVIDious times. Somebody on YouTube, somebody on YouTube says, if that is so, then the workers need to stay on the property. WhatsApp, somebody on WhatsApp says the government ministers in this country need to be jailed for putting Grenadians at risk. Another WhatsApper says, we all know the truth. We all know the truth. It's all planned. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Yes. My thing is, you just have to close the borders in, because all the cases that we receive are imported related. Close the borders. We're too damn lazy. We could sustain ourselves here in Grenada. Because we have fertile soil, we could plant our own food and sustain ourselves. We don't bump outside it. I don't talk.
Thank you. Thank you, caller. I like a don't talk. Caller, while I can understand, it's easier said than done. Unfortunately, fortunately, or fortunately, unfortunately, there are people who depend on the borders being open and staying open to live, putting it bluntly. we can sustain ourselves, but if I work in a resort and I don't have guests and they send me home, how long will I take to reap the yam, to sell it to make a money? It's easier said than done because some of us don't depend on the borders opening to live. But that's not the case for everybody. Good morning, caller.
Morning, my darling.
Morning, how you do?
I'm all right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Blossom, this morning, we cannot close the border, because we have nothing in Grenada here. All we have to do is wear our masks and do what we have to do. Because right now, Peter pays for Paul. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I agree with you, caller. Somebody on WhatsApp. Let me see. WhatsApp says, well, they are not pure safe because they're spreading it to the locals. Another WhatsApper says, it's time Grenadians understand government can do everything. We have to do our part. Very sad we have that occurrence, but jobs are important. And after being unemployed for months, come on, people. Come on, people need money to survive. Let's not shun those affected. Be sympathetic to all. Let's do our part. Stop walking around without masks. All store workers, please wear your masks, sanitize, and be safe. Good morning, caller.
Oh, yes. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Have a good day.
You too.
Now, excuse people for being upset because we have been cooperative over the months. And these things, it should not happen. I don't see anybody taking government responsibility to manage whoever. This should never, ever happen. Don't care who you are, whether you're all-inclusive or not, you have to protect the Grenadian citizens. Because we discover every time these things happen, somebody from overseas. And here is a boatload of people coming into here. We accept them. And then to tell Grenadians, no, wear mask. It's not comfortable wearing the mask. Why are they doing that to us? For the last time, anybody who comes in here in this time, they're supposed to be checked first before going to any department. And people should not be saying that anymore. Don't take Grenadians for fools. I think that's what they're trying to do, not take us for fools. And it's unfair. It is not fair at all. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you very much, caller. Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, what backwardness. All-inclusive clients bringing in the virus, but our ministers want to disrespect and blame locals. Yes, we as locals should adhere to the protocols. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I think we should close the... Work with my WhatsApp. I think we should close the ports for now, especially the red zone countries, because all the cases we have been having is from these red zone countries. So we have to draw a line, and all guests going to the all-inclusive hotel should be tested and quarantined the same way as everyone coming in. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, okay, that one a little longer, so let me read the short one, go to the phone lines and then come back. Somebody on WhatsApp says, the explanation you give about the all-inclusive resorts just made things worse. If so, then they should walk with their attendants who would stay at the hotel with them. It is the facts of the matter. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
My name is Jeremy. How you do?
But we are big set of jokers, you know. We are big set of jokers. In my book, this what they call, well, I don't say we have a pandemic. It's a plandemic because I've had information from sources that convince me that it's a plandemic. Example, we had the Minister of Health from the very beginning talking about the second and the third wave. Everything just coming up. Just see that, but he knew already in advance that there would be a second wave and a third wave. And it was not if, but when. So it's a plandemic. And so let us not fool ourselves. And I'm telling Grenadians, these things are all predicted in the Word of God. It may not have the name that we know, but it has references to these things that happen in these days. What Grenadians need to do is cover yourself under the blood of Jesus. God is a healer. He's a deliverer. There is sickness and disease that man cannot cure. God just 1 second and it's gone. So we have to turn to God in prayer and fasting, repentance, and prepare our souls for whatever comes. Otherwise, it will be hopeless. There is our only hope is in Jesus Christ. Whether we want to hear it or we don't want to hear it, there are some who don't want to hear it. When they hear about God, it's like you put a gun to the ears. So that is our only hope. And unless we make up our minds and trust in the Lord, we just live in that fear, because this is the aim and the objective will be to instill fear. So when they come with the ID, because of fear of disease, you'll take it, and your soul is lost forever. This is not about anything else but your soul. This is the devil fighting for our souls, and that's what we have to consider. Have a blessed day, darling.
You too. Somebody on the WhatsApp. Let me get back to the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp said, the government is trying to blame the workers, but in truth and in fact, they should blame themselves. When guests arrive at Sandals, they are not required to take a test unless they are heading out of the resort. See? Tell all I know what others be saying. They arrive and they are able to mingle with other guests without taking a test. They do not have to wear a mask. So when the government is talking about they're looking to find where the breach was done, they should look within themselves. Sandals claim to share their platinum COVID protocol with the government, but it doesn't look like platinum after all. All the call center they brought persons to conduct lie detector tests who stayed on Sandals. At the call center, they brought persons to conduct lie detector tests who stayed on Sandals' property. So are the workers at the call center need to be tested as well? They are not even adhering to the 6 feet distancing at the call center. I want the ministry to do a pop-up visit to the call center, and they will see the truth. And that testing requirement is annexed at loss of his mercy. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, I think it is the government of Grenada and the Ministry of Health's fault. Everyone should be tested. They don't care about our own people. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning. I'm Blossom and to all your followers. This morning I'm up. I'm angry. I'm livid at what is unfolding before us. You know, every morning I get up and I pray that there will be no community spread. And yesterday morning I was, oblivious of what was happening. I didn't know that this thing was unfolding. Only a couple hours after to learn of what is taking place. This is gross negligence. It is uncaring, I think, I would say on behalf of our caring government, to expose our people in Grenada to something like this. I mean, we have protocols. There are many Grenadians out there who are languishing because they cannot come back here and go to quarantine and afford all the costs. Grenadians are they're overseas languishing. The kids are here. The families are here. But yet we allow folks who come in here to flout our rules, expose our people. I would say that our workers have been set up by our administration. They have set up our people to catch COVID. And I think that the Prime Minister, I understand he has to address the nation, he needs to tell us how that happened, who is responsible for that kind of arrangement. And whoever is responsible should take the ultimate responsibility of resigning, because they have compromised our country, they have compromised our workers. We have two standards, one for locals and one for foreigners. And to me, I'm so emotional and angry, because when you have 20-something people in communities all around the country, riding on buses, going to church, the kids going to school, they go in and shop in supermarkets and village stores, contact tracing is useless. It's useless. They have really unleashed on us, right? Something that we do not deserve as a people. We deserve better. Responsibility must be taken, and I would say the ultimate responsibility for whoever sat down, allowed this to happen, and compromise our workers and our country to that extent. Have a good day, Blossom.
Thank you very much. You enjoy your day as well. Somebody on YouTube simply says, money or life. I saw a Facebook comment, not on the Facebook page, but I'll look for it just now because it hit me. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, hold on, wait. Okay. Somebody on WhatsApp says, this is high-class stupidity and lack of consideration for Grenadian people. Another WhatsApper says, my question is, did these people get tested when they came in? Seeing as they were all infected from the hotel, and what the Minister of Health doing about it? Very disappointed. Another WhatsApper says, this is so unprofessional from these people in these high places. What is the meaning of this nonsense with these new cases? All the time you're not hearing these people walking around with no mask. They weren't being serious. Don't come now and blame us for these cases. Shaking my head. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm good. My take on the point this morning is if all the other resources I'm following the news since COVID time, have to do a testing to come in and go into the resources should be presented with a test and so. While most of all Sanders, they was able to bridge that protocol. And two, this is 2020, money been going out to pay the different people in the different ministries. And right about now, it's empty. Whatever savings is empty. Where the money is coming from to pay the people for the balance of the year? Who is responsible for that? Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. And that question reminded me that I saw a report that the resort would need to be evacuated of guests and workers. The thing that is YouTube. YouTube says Minister Steele will have to take the fall. Another YouTuber says no matter what protocol is put in place, there will always be one to slip through the cracks. Another YouTuber says Sandals run things wherever they have hotels. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, how you do?
I'm fine, you know.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Blossom, what I want the ministry to do is that close the border next week Thursday. From next week Thursday, oppose a curfew. From next week Thursday afternoon. They could oppose the curfew from 7 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 in the morning. So by that, we won't have so much virus spreading. Because if they don't oppose a curfew, remember next week Thursday is Christmas Eve. A lot of people go gather up places. If strangers come out overseas, they will be in the crowd too. So I want the government to oppose a curfew next week Thursday from 6 to 6 in the morning. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. But keep in mind that anybody most people coming into the island are required to quarantine. So that they may not be mingling before they get the results of their tests. And for the rest of us, anybody who wants now to go to social activities, then I wish them luck. I don't know why in this environment, considering what happened here just as recent as yesterday, anybody who wants to go and fet and not pay attention to rules and regulations, then they just wicked. You're fine. All in fine? Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says we're so busy trying to boost tourism, and that is what got us into trouble with COVID, and the government should take the full blame of that outbreak because our locals been exposed to the guests who are going straight to hotel without testing, put our local hotel workers at risk because of money. We need to stop that favor we're giving to these hotels. Now we're in panic mode doing community tracing, contact tracing, in which we should never have been doing at this time. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning, how you do?
Good.
All right.
Maybe not good because, as other people, I'm very concerned. I don't move around that much lately, but I have had to move because I am doing a couple of activities in different parts of the country lately. And one of the things I noticed is the lax way we've been carrying on. So with that news of the Sanders fiasco or whatever you might want to call it, it confirmed my suspicion that we are terribly endangered. And in fact, all I want to say this morning is this shows the level of trust. It demonstrates the level of trust that we can't we can't have in the authorities. They don't know what they're doing. And in addition, how we know now who have contracted this thing when the people would have interacted, gone on bus. I travel on bus, for instance, buses. And right now, a lot of the buses are not even giving you any sanitization. When you go on it, you're being sandwiched. There are people without masks on the bus. Some of the drivers, the conductors. I mean, if we are really serious, everybody has to comply. Everybody should be wearing a mask. We should be employing the sanitation process all the time, and also the social distance. I cannot understand how you ask for 6 feet the social distancing, but you can allow the buses to cramp us like sardines. With what is happening in Sanders, I mean, it as some people have said, it makes people frightened. And I think we need to wake up. I don't think the authority have a clue what they're about.
Okay.
I mean, what has been lacking during this period and has been demonstrated during this period is a true lack of leadership at all levels.
Okay.
I don't know. I know I'll be crucified for that, but anyway, it's pathetic, it's sickening, and I think maybe this might be my last call because who knows, probably I've contracted this thing, I don't know.
Oh my. Thank you so much, caller.
You know, it's pathetic. We need to do something.
Okay. Thank you so much, caller. And I could understand your fear, especially as somebody who uses public transportation. Let me read the final 2 callers, Michaela, and then we'll go to the break before traffic cam. Somebody on YouTube says, Sandals was held in such high esteem for their safety protocols when they reopened. Nobody objected to the fact that staff would be returning home to their family after mingling with untested guests. If that was a decision to not test the guests, then obviously they would have had to rotate their staff in such a way that they stay on compound for a period of time before they can return home. I wish that was the case. WhatsApp. There was a WhatsApp comment, right. They have been made aware of the crack in the system, but in the name of political expediency, they turn a blind eye. Money and power to hell with the vulnerables. That's where we are going to end Mouth Off Monday for now. However, in To the Point, we will continue the discussion on the current COVID-19 situation, the current COVID-19 spike. We'll continue that in this morning's To The Point at 9 o'clock. We're going to take a very quick break, maybe 30 seconds, Mikhail, and then come back with this morning's Traffic Cam. This is Good Morning Grenada in COVIDious times right here on Classic 105.5 and Hot 98. Welcome back. It's now time to join Junior Checkley and Just School photos for this morning's Traffic Cam. He is making his way to St. George's along the Springs Main Road. Take it over, Junior.
St. George's on our way to the city. Not much traffic in Tantine. We are close to where Reno Cinema was at the time. My coordinates is Tantine, St. George's. I'm in Tantine at the moment. Yes, we are in Tantine. So welcome to all the listeners of GBN Radio this morning as we travel to St. George's to see what the mood is like in the city, in the streets, to see what the mood is like after we hearing the news yesterday. We are just advising people to follow all the necessary precaution. Right now we are on a very, very high alert. Very high. We have to be responsible, people. Very, very responsible. Our nation is at risk. Very much so. We are thankful that school is now on vacation. So we are traveling through the streets. We are just outside Sir Royce St. John's playing field, traveling through this to St. George's to see what the mood is like. We'll have an extended traffic cam this morning. We are just outside Homemade Bakery on our way to St. George's. Good morning to all. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend in spite of the news, but we have to give God thanks for life. We are alive to face another day, and we got to work together as a nation. Each one got to look out for each other. We have to be responsible, people. Very responsible. We got to look out for each other. Don't be afraid to be called a snitch, but we gotta protect each other for the sake of our country, of our nation. We gotta work together as we travel into St. George's to see what the mood is like on the streets of the city as we begin a brand new week. At the moment we are on the Buns Point roundabout. We have some traffic on the carnage getting into St. George's. Good morning, Palm Beach, Florida. Good morning, good morning. We are now just outside the Grenada Port authorities on the carnage. Just headed into St. George to see what the mood is like. As we are, as a nation, are on high alert. Good morning to all, wherever you are listening from, the comfort of your home or your vehicle. Whether you're listening in North America, South America, the UK, welcome to your Monday morning traffic cam. At the moment, we are on the carnage St. George's, heading into the city. And we having just a smooth flow of traffic on the carnage. Now we are outside the old Grentel of Cable and Wireless office was many years ago on the carnage. Now Now we are by the Carnage Plaza, passing Pizza Hut, Otway Bailey Funeral Home, Renwick and Thompson. Now we are passing Hubbard's and then Huggins. On a beautiful Monday as the sun rises on our beautiful island. Everybody have their mask on as we try to protect ourselves and others. This is your Monday morning traffic cam, Just Cool Media in collaboration with GBN. Just taking a drive through the streets of St. George's this morning to see what the mood is like. Everybody's all masked up, and that's the way to go, people. Keep your mask on. We gotta protect ourselves and protect each other. We are traveling under the Sendal Tunnel now. We're underneath the tunnel. Good morning to all. Good morning. People, everyone is going to work this morning, all masked up. Now we are outside Digicel. We are on Melville Street and Republic Bank. Outside what used to be Trio Shack restaurant. Right outside New Dimension Steel Orchestra. And we are approaching the bus terminal. People, put on your mask to protect yourself and protect others. Just remember, you observe any breaching protocol, please speak up and speak out. We can't afford to be complacent. That's what's brought this situation now, so we got to deal with it. We got to be vigilant. We are outside House of Lords on Melville Street. We're gonna go turn up by Lockwell Brothers Funeral Home and we come back down into the streets of St. George's. You'll have an extended traffic cam this morning. Those of you staying on Facebook, we're in the streets of St. George's this Monday morning just to see what the mood is like as people go to work. Now we are turning on the roundabout by Lockwell Brothers Funeral Home and we're going back into Melville Street and into St. George's.
That was this morning's traffic cam. Thank you so much to Junior and Just School Photos taking you on a trip from Springs into St. George's to see what the mood is like, he says. So please, thank you so much. Join us on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:45 a.m. for traffic cam. Thank you once again, Junior. All right, let's wrap up this morning's program. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Continue, please, I beg, continue to observe the protocols. Protect yourselves. Wear your masks, walk with your hand sanitizers. Soap and water is a trusted avenue for ridding your hands of germs, 20 seconds or more. Continue to be safe. Protect yourselves, protect your loved ones, observe the protocols. Those of you who use public transportation especially, continue to observe the protocols. Thank goodness schools are closed, like Junior said, so the children should be home. Please continue to be safe. Once you're leaving home, your masks should be in your hands, just like your keys and your cell phones. Have yourselves a safe, productive Monday. Remember, at 9, we continue the discussion as the COVID-19 spike continues and unfolds. Have yourselves a good one and enjoy your day. Be safe. The BBC Morning News or 8 o'clock news is up next.
Changes in sleep pattern, changes in appetite, lack of energy, no interest in work or hobbies, difficulty concentrating, constant sadness, thoughts of death and suicide. These are signs of depression. But there is help. Call 440-2269 and save a life today.
It's a strawberry affair. December specials at Escape to Haven Health Spa by Nirvana. Indulge and excite your senses with our strawberry full body massage, $125. Kids, $80. Strawberry pedicures, $70. Kids, $50. Strawberry facials, $100. Kids, $50. Strawberry full body scrub, $90. Come on, be honest. You know it's long overdue for some real body care. Call or message us on 231-6642, 418-7115 or 449-7753. Opening hours are Mondays to Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Give your family or friend a gift of body care by purchasing a gift certificate. Celebrate your birthday or anniversary with us and receive a complimentary glass of strawberry champagne. Escape to Haven Health Spa by Nirvana. Excel Plaza Grandance. We know real body care. This offer ends January 3rd.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, easy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Rubigas, get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas?
Get going. Ace and Napper means getting help when you walk through the door. Ace and Napper is variety and quality.